What really happened behind the scenes on Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan's final day of filming? What should have been a simple moment to say goodbye to the entire crew instead became a source of much interest for fans. There was a distinct atmosphere as the two actors finally concluded their journey on set. Their interactions, expressions, and even the small moments that occurred at the end of production left fans wondering. Was this simply a sign of closeness between two co-workers, or was there something else that made the moment so special? The final day of filming always has its own unique atmosphere. After months of spending time together, the cast and crew must finally part ways and go their separate ways. However, it's precisely at moments like these that memories and emotions naturally emerge. This was the case for Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan. The two were in the spotlight for several moments on the final day of production that became widely discussed by fans. Since the beginning of this project, the chemistry between Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan has been a key factor. Every time the two appear in a scene together, fans pay close attention to their interactions, not only when the cameras are rolling, but also when they're behind the scenes. Their glances, smiles, small jokes, and even their responses to each other often became topics of conversation among viewers. However, the final day of filming felt different. After a long period of the same routine, the final moments on set seemed to signal the end of a long journey. The crew was busy completing various production requirements, while the cast enjoyed their final moments together. In this atmosphere, Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan once again stole the spotlight. One thing that intrigued fans was how the two seemed to be enjoying themselves at the end of filming. Instead of just talking about their characters and scenes, the atmosphere felt more relaxed. Moments like this usually provide an opportunity for the actors to reminisce about the various events they experienced during the production process. Just imagine, for months they had to memorize lines, rehearse scenes, repeat takes, wait for camera work, and even face various conditions on set. Once it was all over, there was naturally a sense of relief and sadness at having to leave the people who had been a part of their daily lives, and this is where Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan's moment became interesting to watch. The two looked more relaxed than they had during filming. Their smiles and expressions gave fans the impression that the working relationship formed during production was indeed quite close. Many assumed that the two already had strong chemistry, even when the camera wasn't on them. But of course, one important thing to remember, closeness between two actors doesn't automatically mean they have a romantic relationship in real life. In the entertainment world, actors are required to build communication and comfort with their co-stars to create convincing chemistry on a project. Therefore, every behind-the-scenes moment should be enjoyed as part of their journey as colleagues. However, it's precisely because the chemistry seems so natural that fans find it increasingly difficult to ignore every little moment that emerges. The final day of filming is also an opportunity to capture memories. Typically, after production wraps, the cast and crew will take a group photo, express their gratitude, or exchange farewell messages. This moment is often the most emotional part of a project, as everyone realizes that their long-standing partnership is coming to an end. For Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan, the day wasn't just about completing the final scene. It was a long journey they went through together as part of the production. From their first meeting, through rehearsals, through filming, and finally standing on set for the last time. It all becomes an experience they'll likely remember. What makes fans even more enthusiastic is the change in atmosphere after the final scene is over. When there's no longer the pressure of maintaining character, the actors can return to being themselves. The banter becomes more freewheeling, the atmosphere becomes more relaxed, and the interactions feel more natural. It's no surprise that simple moments like these become the most talked about. There's also another reason why the final day of filming always draws so much attention. At this point, fans usually begin to realize that the main cast's time together on set is over. Afterward, each of them will return to their own schedules. New projects, photo shoots, promotions, television shows, and various other activities will make the opportunity to see them together increasingly rare. Therefore, every final moment is often considered a precious memory. For fans of Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan, the chemistry they displayed throughout the project is one of the main reasons why their journey is so compelling to follow. Even after filming ends, talk about them will likely continue as the project enters its promotional phase and ultimately airs. Interestingly, it's not just romantic scenes or big scenes that make on-screen couples captivate. Sometimes, simple behind-the-scenes moments are more likely to connect viewers with the actors. A small smile, a quick joke, or simply standing together can become a memory that fans will continue to share, and that's what happened with Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan. The moment on the last day of filming felt like the end of a long journey. It doesn't have to be a big event to touch fans. Sometimes, just knowing that two people we've seen together on screen are finally going to part ways after completing a project is enough to evoke emotions. In fact, for some fans, the last day of filming feels like the end of an era. Meanwhile, memories from the final day of filming will remain a part of the project's journey. What seems simple to others may have a different meaning to the cast and crew who experienced it firsthand, and ultimately, this is perhaps the most fascinating thing about the entertainment world. A story we see for hours on screen actually stems from hundreds of hours of work behind the camera. Every scene has a long process. Every chemistry requires practice. And each end of filming marks the beginning of a new journey for the actors. Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan may have finished their journey on set, but fans' attention to them doesn't necessarily end there. In fact, after a project wraps, curiosity can grow even more. Fans begin to wait for new photos, interviews, promotional events, and even the possibility of a new project. Every time their names appear in the news, attention is drawn back to their once-proven chemistry. That's the power of an on-screen couple that leaves an impression. They don't have to be together off-screen to make viewers remember them. Simply by providing a strong story and compelling chemistry, those memories can last much longer. So, what do you think? Did Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan's moment on the final day of filming demonstrate truly strong chemistry, or do you think it was all just a testament to the closeness between two longtime colleagues? What's clear is that their journey has left many moments that have fans intrigued and smiling. And perhaps, one day, the two will reunite in a new, equally interesting project. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Do you think Zhang Linghe and Wang Churan should be a couple again in another drama? If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to stay updated on the latest news, exciting moments, and stories from the world of Chinese dramas and your favorite actors.